Imagine a man who walks out of history with no birth record, no parents listed, and no death recorded. He simply appears, does something extraordinary, and vanishes for nearly 1,000 years before anyone speaks his name again. That man is Melchizedek, and once you understand who he was, you will never read ancient history the same way again. Long before the great cities of the ancient world rose into empires, there existed a city called Salem, most likely the city the world would later know as Jerusalem. Ruling over this city was a man unlike any other. His name meant King of Righteousness, and he held two roles at once, serving as both king and priest of God Most High. In those ancient times, being a king and a priest simultaneously was almost unheard of. These two roles demanded entirely different responsibilities and different callings. Yet here was one man carrying both with authority. The story that brings him into the spotlight begins with a war. A coalition of kings kidnapped Abraham's nephew Lot during a great battle. Abraham pursued the enemy forces, defeated them, and rescued Lot along with everything that had been taken. On his return from that victory, tired and dusty from battle, something remarkable happened. Melchizedek appeared, offered Abraham bread and wine, blessed him in the name of God Most High, and Abraham responded by giving him 1/10 of everything he had won. In the ancient world, that act of giving 1/10 was a direct acknowledgement that the person receiving it stood in greater spiritual authority than the one giving it. Abraham, the father of faith himself, bowed in honor before this mysterious priest-king. Then Melchizedek vanished. No death scene, no farewell, no tomb. He disappeared for nearly 1,000 years before King David wrote his name again in Psalm 110, declaring that the coming Messiah would be a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. 1,000 years after that encounter on a dusty road, the greatest king in Israel was still measuring the coming Savior against this mysterious figure from Salem. The book of Hebrews describes him as having no father, no mother, no genealogy, no beginning of days, and no end of life. Whether that means he was a pre-incarnate appearance of Christ, a heavenly figure, or a historical king whose records were simply never written, remains one of the most fascinating debates in biblical scholarship. What is undeniable is that the bread and wine he offered Abraham pointed centuries forward to the Last Supper, that his dual role as king and priest became the very framework through which New Testament writers understood Jesus, and that his city of Salem, meaning peace, would become Jerusalem, the city where the most significant events in human history would unfold. Melchizedek was a shadow on the ancient wall of history, outlining a figure who had not yet arrived but was certainly coming. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories that challenge your faith and perspective.